What's up, guys? And here we are with the Windwalker monk. And damn, has it had some not a lot of major changes, but the changes that it had, I definitely see are going to be beneficial to it. So what do we end up starting off with? Okay, so you still got your Tiger Palm punch, Tiger Palm, whatever it's called. You do have your Blackout kick still, and you have your Rising Sun kick as your three main abilities. Rising Sun Kick no longer adds a debuff, unfortunately, but it still hits like a truck. I believe it's an 8-second cooldown on that guy also, so it's not too bad. You still have Fists of Fury. Fists of Fury not only allows you to end up doing the channel ability, but you can now move with it unglyphed. The only problem is, it no longer stuns, guys. So you're definitely going to be looking at that. That is a big issue. You do have your movement selections. You still have roll. You still have paralysis up there. You still have a lot of your core abilities that you had. The only thing that's really been 100% revamped on this thing is how the gameplay is and the mastery. So what's the mastery going to do, guys? Basically, the way the mastery is working is, as long as you hit a different attack ability each time, you're going to do X amount of increased damage based on how much mastery you have, and it's a pretty decent amount. This also lines up very well with another talent called hit, I believe it's called hit combos. And what this does is it builds up to 1% per stack, so you can get 10% increased damage at all times as long as you're playing this thing the way that Blizzard intended you to, always hitting a different button. So how is it playing? It's playing great, guys. It's always a different, and you aren't just spamming one thing. It feels really good, and the damage is there. Every test that I ended up doing, the damage was very, very high in comparison to some of them, just because I guess they think that this is a hard spec to end up playing. It's not. It's fairly easy, as long as you get used to just waxing and waning and hitting which ones need to be off cooldown first, and doing a little bit of energy and chi management. Very little at that, and it does really well, guys. But you do still have Touch of Karma. It works exactly the same way as it does on live. Touch of Death, huge change out of Touch of Death, guys. Basically, the way this thing's working, you're going to end up putting it up. And what it's going to do is it's going to start a counter. And at the end of this counter, which I believe it's 15-20 seconds, I can't remember off the top of my head, but after it gets done, it's going to do your max hit points. So let's say you have, this is a level 100 dungeon, so we probably have about 350,000. It's going to do 350,000 damage to that target. Great damage, guys. 2-minute cooldown. Works wonderfully. What's the other cooldown that's changed? Storm, Earth, and Fire is now a cooldown, guys. It's no longer a AoE split. They ended up changing this, and what they did was they decided it was best worked as a cooldown. So when you hit it, it's going to end up coming out, and you can end up having these guys here doing their damage. But they're going to do 45% of their damage over 15 seconds. You do have two charges of this on a 1.5 minute cooldown refresher. Alright, so basically you can do both of these and do a lot of burst damage right off the bat, and then every 1.5 minutes you'll have another stack up. Works really nice. Great damage, guys. So that's it for cooldowns on that. So let's get a look into some of the talents. One of the talents I have is on the number 5 key there, and it's a Whirling Dragon Punch. And there's a reason why I took this over. A lot of people are saying Chi Orbit's better, and the reason why I disagree with this is because the way your mastery works and the hit combo. It works very well in it, and it's also tied, and it allows you to still maintain your mastery and the hit combos with the extra button, as to where Chi Orbit or whatever that everyone seems to be using does not. So how's this playing? Basically, to end up getting Whirling Dragon Punch up, guys, it is on a 40 second cooldown, something like that, and you have to have both Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury off cooldown for it to work. Alright? Huge damage on this ability, though, and if you're playing it right, you're going to have those lining up every single time that this is off cooldown anyways for the additional damage. And then you'll be able to use it and do some pretty insane damage. And it does not just hit this person in front of you, but it hits all targets around within 8 yards, I believe it is. So it's not only good in single target, but it's even better in AoE. Um, so it works really, really nice, guys. I gotta say I am pretty impressed with this spec overall. You still have your Transcendence, you still have your Paralysis, so you have some CC in there still. Healing Elixirs is another talent that we still have, but it's had a huge change. You can see it down there, and it's actually got 2 stacks. Basically, it heals you for, I believe it's at 15% of your health right now. Per charge, and it's on like a 15-20 second recharge form. Really nice, really life-saving ability. I use it a lot to end up saving my own ass in multiple different aspects, and it just plays real good. You still have roll. You can swap that out for a Chi Torpedo, alright, and it'll still do good, or you can have Tiger's Lust, which I've got Tiger's Lust instead, and that all helps really, really well. The other thing that you're looking at that's changed drastically, and you'll see a counter that pops up on Spinning Crane Kick. Really odd setup, guys. Basically, to improve the damage of Spinning Crane Kick, you got to go through and Tiger Palm each individual mob that's around you, because basically the way it works out now is it increases the damage by, I want to say it's 20% per stack of this, but the way you increase it is you got to Tiger Palm each mob that's in the area, and every mob hit within 15 seconds is going to increase the damage by 20% on Spinning Crane Kick. So you kind of have to build up Spinning Crane Kick before you can use it, and I'm not liking it so much. I found that doing my normal rotation did enough AoE, I didn't really have to worry about Spinning Crane Kick at all. And then if you've got your Storm, Earth, and Fire out, basically if you end up Spinning Crane Kicking, I think it does like 150% increased damage. Something ridiculous like that. So they still kind of have Storm, Earth, and Fire set up to where it'll do a lot of AoE. Going into a few other things, you still have your Interrupt. The other thing that I was looking at, that you've still got your Interrupt, you still got your stuns, you can still go in and get like Dampening Harm and all these other abilities. There really isn't a whole hell of a lot of change, guys. They're playing quite nice. There's nothing really much to say about them. As long as you're, even in AoE situation, if you're maintaining your single target, it seems like you're doing plenty of damage, and you don't have to deal with this Spinning Crane Kick crap. Unless you really want, if you've got a bunch of ads, you can go through and hit like 3, get 60% or whatever it turns out to be when it's live, extra damage, and then Spinning Crane Kick, and it'll do a pretty good amount. But other than that, I still think with the artifact ability and everything being on such low cooldowns with AoE, you should be able to just do those instead and still maintain. So single target, 2 to 3 mobs, and large AoE packs. It seems like single target rotation is going to still be one of the better aspects to end up playing off of, because you've got Fist of Fury that's basically hitting everything, and then you've got your artifact ability, which does a huge amount of damage and a slow to everything in front of you. And then you've also got, if you end up going with it, the Whirling Dragon Punch, that's going to do a mass amount of AoE also. So again, guys, this is playing out very nicely. As long as you're comfortable with hitting a different button every time you go through, you're going to maintain and do some max numbers, and it's a really, really tight amount of damage. The playstyle was very fun. You had obviously you've got your great mobility in there, and you've got your great damage, and you're not stuck to spamming just one button. I mean, there's some people out there that enjoy that gameplay, but this is not it. This is basically, you want to hit everything you possibly can to keep going. And it is a fun and enjoyable deal. I think they've got Storm, Earth, and Fire where they like it as a cooldown. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that. You can redirect these also after you end up hitting Storm, Earth, and Fire. Basically, you just target the next mob. If they're still up, you'll see like a little arrow mark up there, and you can redirect them just by re-hitting the cooldown again. So it helps out, guys. But again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, go ahead and throw this a like and subscribe, and we'll get more out to you. Thanks.